Alright, so you have decided to join Merchant Navy. But do you know which department you will be joining? Do you know what are the different ranks on ships? Or what is the hierarchy system on board? A ranking system is important on board to ensure smooth coordination of ship operations and promote proper management strategies. It is to note that the ranks and responsibilities that come with it are somewhat similar across the whole industry, with minor changes in names and duties assigned to specific positions. The nomenclature of the Merchant Navy ranking system is universally accepted by shipping companies and commercial vessels around the world. Let's take a look as to how a ship's crew is classified into different departments and ranks. In general, the ranking system on merchant vessels is mainly divided into three categories. First, deck department, second, engine department, and third, catering department. Seafarers under the deck department of the ship are vested with the responsibility of managing ship navigation, along with handling cargo operation and berthing instruments present on the ship's deck. Similarly, seafarers working in the ship's engine room fall under the engine department. This mainly includes marine engineers and ratings responsible for operation and maintenance of ship's machinery. The catering department is responsible for the preparation of meals and general housekeeping for crew and passengers. The number of people employed in this department varies across ships, and obviously a passenger ship will have far more catering staff than a cargo ship, owing to the number of people that need to be attended. Now let's take a look into each department and its rank in detail. First thing first, the captain of the ship. The captain or the master of the ship is the final authority of the ship and is the highest rank that one can achieve on board. The captain shoulders total responsibility and oversees all shipboard operations. The captain is in command of the merchant ship at all times and regulates the proper daily transactions and handles the legal affairs on maritime issues. In the unlikely event that the master is not present on board, the chief mate is assumed to be in charge of the shipboard operations. It is to note that one can become captain of a ship only by joining the deck department. Ranks in deck department: chief officer or chief mate, second officer or second mate, third officer or third mate, deck cadets, chief mate or the first mate. Chief officer or first mate is the second responsible position after the captain of the vessel. The chief officer is the executive head of the deck department and executes the order of the master at the operational level, although the rank itself is a more managerial position. The chief officer supervises the vessel's crew and looks after the various deck operations, which include but not limited to the daily ongoings of the deck as per the work schedule, as well as the cargo operations to be carried out while in port. The chief mate prioritizes the security and safe functioning of the vessel and is responsible for the welfare of crew and passengers on board. The chief mate also carries out duties of safe navigation of the ship by becoming officer on watch for the navigational watches between 4 to 8. Already burdened with a lot of work in the port, the chief mate usually does not keep port watches as he is constantly overseeing the cargo work. The second officer or the second mate. The second mate is an officer on watch responsible for the charts and publication on board and their maintenance. The second officer is also the medical officer responsible for the upkeep and administration of all medical related services. Being an officer on watch, the navigational watch timings for the second mate are usually from 12 to 4. The third mate is in charge of all the life-saving appliances and firefighting appliances on board and is responsible for their upkeep and maintenance. Apart from that, he has to handle all the port documents for use by the master along with handling the bond store. Being an officer on watch, the navigational watch timing for the third mate are from 8 to 12. The deck cadet is the trainee officer on board, fresh out of a maritime institute. The deck cadet's sole job is to learn, comprehend, and apply skills for the process of becoming a skilled officer in the future. Being a fresh candidate, a cadet is assigned tasks that give him a gradual understanding of the ship and her ongoings, which come to use when preparing for the Certificate of Competency examinations to assume responsibility as an officer on watch in the future. Aside from the deck work that he needs to grasp, the major chunk of a cadet's learning pertains to assisting an officer on watch in carrying out a safe navigational watch. Deck ratings or the non-officers: bosun, able-bodied seaman, ordinary seaman, trainee OS. Bosun. Bosun is the head of the deck crew and performs various deck operations along with the rest of the crew and as directed by the chief officer. He is also the spokesperson of the crew department and is responsible for supervising the crew and bringing their concerns and complaints to the chief officer. Able-bodied seamen. The able-bodied seamen perform deck jobs such as chipping, painting, cleaning, etc. He also assists the duty officer in ship navigation watch. Able-bodied seamen, after gaining the necessary experience, becomes bosun. Ordinary seamen. The ordinary seamen assists the AB and bosun in deck jobs such as chipping, painting, cleaning, etc. He cannot keep a watch with the watchkeeping officer on the bridge as he doesn't have a watchkeeping certificate. With proper experience and after gaining a watchkeeping certificate, he becomes an AB. The engine department. Chief engineer, second engineer or the first assistant engineer, third engineer or the second assistant engineer, fourth engineer or the third assistant engineer, fifth engineer or the engine cadet, and last, electrical officer. Chief engineer. Chief engineer is the head of the ship's engine department. Being the overall in charge of the engine room, the chief engineer decides and allocates jobs to the second engineer, who further distributes it among the lower ranks. Chief engineer is at par with the rank of the captain, but technically comes under him according to the ship's hierarchy system. The second engineer. The second engineer delegates duties to other engineers and crew. The second engineer is responsible for allocating daily jobs and monitoring the work performance of everyone in the engine room department. Everyone reports to the second engineer and he is responsible for addressing their concerns and complaints. The second engineer is also responsible for operation and maintenance of the main engine, boilers and steam systems, steering gear, ship safety systems and equipment, deck crane, lifeboat and lifeboat engine, etc. Apart from being a managerial position, the second engineer is also a watchkeeping officer and usually keeps 4 to 8 watch. Third engineer. The third engineer is mainly responsible for auxiliary engines, pumps, freshwater generators, air conditioning and refrigeration systems, etc. He is also a watchkeeping engineer and usually keeps 12 to 4 watch at sea. The fourth engineer is responsible for fuel and lube oil purifiers, air compressors, bunkering operations, etc. He is also a watchkeeping engineer and keeps 8 to 12 watch. Trainee marine engineer or fifth engineer. As the name suggests, the fifth engineer is not a licensed watchkeeping engineer and is on board as a trainee. His main job is to learn as much as possible from everyone in the engine room. Usually the fifth engineer is required to assist second engineer at all times. However, he can be asked to assist anyone in the engine room. The electrical officer. Electrical officer or the electrotechnical officer on board ships has a thorough knowledge of electrical circuits and systems. He caters to the needs of the both deck and engine department. He is not a watchkeeping officer and usually carries out jobs during the daytime. Electrotechnical officer on ships cannot become a chief engineer or captain. Engine room rating. Fitter, motorman, wiper, trainee fitter or trainee wiper. Fitter, as the name suggests, is someone who is an expert in welding, gas cutting, grinding, operating lathe machines, etc. He assists the second engineer in the engine room and perform tasks assigned by the latter. Depending on the job requirement, he might be sometimes called by the deck department to carry out certain tasks. Viper helps the engine room crew during maintenance jobs and as directed by the second engineer. He also keeps the engine room clean and assists during overhauling jobs. With experience, a Viper becomes an oiler. Motorman. The motorman assists the duty officer in watchkeeping by taking readings of various machinery and systems and keep a constant watch on them. He also assists the engineering officer during maintenance and overhauling jobs. The catering department. Chief cook, trainee cook, and the steward. Chief cook. The chief cook is a rank of great importance as he prepares food for all the people on board. The chief cook also assists the master for planning and ordering provisions on a ship. Depending on the size of the ship and the number of crew members, the chief cook will have an assistant cook to help in duties. The job of a chief cook is a tough one as he has to ensure that crew members from different nationalities are liking the food prepared on board. Steward. Steward mainly helps the chief cook for preparing and cooking food for the people on board. He is also responsible for cleaning the mess and the accommodation area. He also cleans officer cabins, washes linen, dishes, etc. He serves food to the officers and is always present in the officers' mess during meal hours. Steward gains experience and progresses to become the chief cook. It is important to remember that while the shipboard hierarchy is almost the same across the industry, variations might exist depending on the nomenclature system followed in a specific company as well as the type of the ship in question. If you have any questions or suggestions, please drop your comments below and we'll get back to you at the earliest. If you like this video, please subscribe to the Marine Insight channel and press the bell icon to get notified when we post such amazing videos. Please like, comment and share this video and do not forget to subscribe to our channel.